the desperately hungry one. And our heart is desperately wicked and we don't know it. So how are we able to see what we are really like? We find in Psalm 139, verse 23 and 24, a simple prayer which I encourage each of you to pray. Psalm 139, verse 23 and 24. Psalm 139, verse 23-24. Search me, O God, and know my heart. Try me and know my anxieties, and see if there's any wicked way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. Now you're probably saying to yourself, Mike, why do you want me to see how bad I am? Well, can we go back to the doctor's room? I'm the doctor, you're the patient. I say, good news, you look all right. But do you really want to know how bad you are? Because unless you know the effect of the cancer in your life, you will not know what kind of solution you need to get fixed up. What would you rather? Live in ignorance and all of a sudden, bang, you're gone? Or know what the problem really is and therefore be able to get a solution? I would much rather be a person who is able to know what is wrong, because I want to get better. So how bad really are we? You know, I have so many people who have excuses and they say, Mike, you don't know what my life is like. You know, I'm really coping actually pretty well. You know, I smoke a pack of cigarettes a day, but that keeps my life sanity. You don't know the people I deal with. You don't know the family I'm in. You know, the devil makes me do it. I have no other choice in survival. We have so many excuses. When God opens, I guess, the veil a little bit for us to see what we're like, we make excuses. And I myself had made many excuses in my life. In last program, I mentioned to you that I nearly left my wife because of the health issues in her life. The way she got those health issues was when she was a child, she was sexually abused. And that had such an enormous impact in her life and my life. And because I'm standing here telling the story, I don't want to tell my wife's story so much, but her memories, her brain, the way her brain coped with that memory was to hide it away. And so when I met my wife, she's a fun wife. We had so much fun together. But when we got married, all of a sudden these memories started affecting her in a way she didn't realize. And I guess to give you a way of sort of understanding of what things were like, you notice my wife and I don't have children. To have children, you need to do something. Well, that doesn't happen. And people would then say to me, well, they didn't know, but could easily say to me, Michael, you have the perfect excuse to leave your wife. Michael, you have the perfect excuse to go and commit adultery. You have the perfect excuse to get out of the relationship. Thank God I didn't. But something else came along that stole my love away. And I got addicted to pornography. And the crazy thing is, as I said, the heart is desperately wicked. Here I was, a church minister, preaching to the congregation every week, while behind closed doors doing things that should not be done. And yet somehow I justified it. I used it as an excuse. God, I'm in this situation. This is the only way I could cope. But does that make it right? Could I ever find healing in my life until I really knew how bad it was. You know, I grew up thinking I was a good kid. Everything I did was good. I was good to people. You know, I didn't really think I had a problem. I met Jesus early on in my life, and he was my best mate. But God had to show me what I was really like, because it was not until he opened my eyes and exposed myself to what I was doing that I realized how much I desperately needed Jesus, how much I needed to find him so that he could recreate my life. You know, in Matthew chapter 5, verse 27 and 28, God, I guess, visually revealed to me what I was doing. Verse 27 of Matthew 5, "You have heard that it was said to those of old, 'You shall not commit adultery.' But I say to you that whoever looks at a woman to lust for her has already committed adultery with her in his heart." And that's what I was doing. You know, the problem really isn't the effects of the sin, because you may look at me and say, "Hey, I don't have a problem. I don't really understand what you're talking about much." But maybe your problem is with pride. Maybe your issue is with being addicted to the computer, to shopping. Whatever it is, it's just a symptom of a far deeper problem of your heart, that you are in control of your life. And whenever you are in control of your life, things will go wrong and things will get worse. My heart was desperately wicked. In Romans chapter 6, verse 23, we won't look it up, but it says in there that the wages of sin is death. I deserved to die. That is how bad I am. That is how bad you are. And until you realize in yourself how desperately wicked you are, it's hard for you to realize how much you need Jesus. Now, I just want to put a point in here, because it's something that I only learnt it's quite a few months ago. I had a discussion about this with my wife, Karina, and a lot of healing has taken place since then, and God has really helped our relationship. But we're talking about, and she was saying, "I really don't feel that bad. You know, I pray to God, but, you know, I'm doing all right. I don't feel convicted. I'm not sure what the problem is." Or, you know, we only noticed that my wife was on antidepressants